my physics professor gave me a major spoiler for Enterprise, knowing that I'm on this podcast, knowing that I'm watching it for the first time, that I have not seen it. He spoiled it. And then I said, why would you do that? In lab. I was like mid-experiment. And he was like, and I was like, why? Why would you do that? And he said, how long has the show been out? And I was like, so I actually couldn't watch it while it was on air. I was not a concept.
How dare you?
How dare he? We have fun.
Linda can kill spiders with that thing. She can kill blinds with that thing.
Yep. Nope, not the blinds. I don't want to get charged for any damage, so I've never touched the blinds
no damage to the dorm room.
Yeah, you guys have missed a lot. We should have started filming earlier, but we're leaving Shoff out of the cool popcorn bucket club.
Yeah. Not only are they showing off these cool popcorn buckets, but they're eating from them too.
Wait,
and therefore neither do I get the fun of having a bucket, nor do I get the sustenance and nutrition from eating from said bucket.
Do you want this is our new thing. This is Treknopod ASMR.
Oh. Dig that crunch.
No,
there's a short. There's a clip.
Ooh.
Yeah. There we
go. 2 for the price of 1. Love it.
Yeah, I got
ASMR. He's opening his up. Yeah, we got to get Vactor in on the ASMR.
I just discovered I'm really hungry. And if I'm munching from this, I'm gonna leave it open right next to me. You don't even notice.
Let's see what flavors we got going on up in here.
Oh, what flavors do you have? I have cheddar, like the cheese one, caramel corn, and regular.
Okay, I got the exact same. We are popcorn buds.
You know what I always found interesting about these buckets is that the caramel corn is half of the popcorn.
Yeah.
Like normally, wouldn't you think it would be regular popcorn would be like the most, like the biggest section, and then like the specialty flavors would be
maybe it's because the caramel ones are bigger, so it's like the same amount. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like.
Did you give us a good crunch, Vactor, into the microphone?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good. All right.
But I bet the caramel corn one gives you a better crunch into the mic.
Yeah.
Crunch it, chewy.
Crunch it, chewy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Linda, have you watched the holiday special yet?
No. No, I have not.
Watch the documentary and you'll get all you need out of the holiday special.
I have to. I'm gonna watch it when I'm home for winter break.
It has plenty of actual footage. You don't need to watch the actual holiday special. I would not recommend that. But the documentary is great.
I can't wait.
I've watched both, and I can. Yeah, it's if you can make it through the actual movie, props to you, because it is rough.
Is it that bad?
There's a
But
reason.
I feel like
George
when it's
Lucas...
that bad, it's like it's fun though to watch.
No, it's
like,
not.
You don't feel that way watching like Sharknado. That's one of the worst movies ever made, and I love
it. That movie was made to be like a parody, right? Like this is not. This was like a very. This was done with the intention of being an entry in like the Star Wars, whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, it wasn't like played for laughs.
Yeah, we're trying to be serious.
Yeah, well, at times. I mean, yes, there are some like hokey things, but it centers around a Wookiee family. And it's something all right.
It has not aged well.
Oh, I see. So it's not like it's bad, like it was done badly, but it's bad as in like it's not like PC.
No, both.
I would say all of the above.
Yeah.
Oh, see, okay, I take back what I said. I thought we were talking about like the special effects were bad. Speaking of special effects, can we talk about the Targ?
We'll get into that.
I was like, I never noticed when there's CGI or anything. Like I'm so bad at noticing it. I was like, that's one of the worst effects I've ever seen in Star Trek.
Welcome
to should I like formally do this now? Should I like get us into the swing?
Start it, Sean.
Oh yeah,
punch
this one, you know, we kind of started off with to start. This
Thank
is what we
you
do
so much for joining us today. If you somehow skipped over the past few minutes, you missed out on some great popcorn material that we had going on here. My co-hosts with the mostest are enjoying some popcorn buckets and leaving me without said popcorn. So
Here you go, Shoff.
Nothing. Oh,
Yes, that's good. I like that. That's real nice. Yeah.
As much as you want.
So anyways, thank you so much for joining us again this week. We were off last week because our dear co-host, Captain Linda Pages, was celebrating her birthday. And so
my 21st birthday.
Yeah, her 21st birthday. So we gave her the day to properly enjoy Romulan ale and Saurian brandy and Chateau Picard.
Speaking of, my parents, for my 21st birthday, gave me a Star Trek alcohol set. And it has like it's like the actual alcohols, and then there's it's like shot glasses and you know, like the whole shebang. But they kept it at home because obviously you can't drive. Well, in Florida it's illegal to drive with an open bottle of liquor. So they were like, well, if you open it at school, like
yeah, that's true.
So it's at home. So I am going to get to try it over Thanksgiving break next week. So stay tuned for a series of me trying all of the Star Trek liquors.
Will you be trying any blood wine? Because
let me see.
This episode,
how much gold pressed latinum did that cost your parents?
I did not ask. I don't know. But I'm very excited. There's like 3 or 4 liquors, and then like the shot glasses. I'm super excited. So
I love it.
That's cool.
Thank you, Admiral and Fleet Admiral.
You'll have to give us the rundown after all is said and done after the break. Today we're going to be talking about sleeping dogs. Let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah, this is episode 14 of the first season of Star Trek Enterprise, directed by Les Landau, written by Fred Decker, with an original air date. This originally aired on January 30th of 2002.
Linda was not on this earth yet.
I was not even a concept. That did not exist.
This episode, interesting. I have thoughts. I have some notes. I don't have a ton of notes, but I do have some. But let's just at least acknowledge, first of all, what we thought. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me properly introduce my team. I'm like so off my kilter here.
We started weird today.
I know, yeah, we started weird, so I'm like totally thrown off. If I didn't introduce myself properly, I'm Captain Shoff. I'm 1/3 of this amazing team. With me every week since the inception of Treknopod, back when it was Treknological, is Captain Vactor. How are you, Mr. Expendable?
I'm doing excellent because I'm here with my favorite Trekkies. I can't wait to talk.
And of course, as we said, Captain Linda is back with us after our week off. So she's currently enjoying the popcorn, and we're happy to have her here. Her hair is looking right here. Her hair is looking amazing. She just had a hair appointment.
I did. It was very stressful, but we made it.
Yeah, she made it happen. Let's put some good juju out in the universe. She is looking for her keys. If any of our subscribers happen to know,
surprise, Mom and Dad.
Ooh, edit that out.
Yes, my wonderful, incredible, amazing, perfect boyfriend. I called him and I was like, I'm gonna have to cancel my hair appointment. I can't find my keys. He's like, no, I'll just take you.
He's like, I'll take you.
Well, to be fair, I got my hair done for his semi-formal tomorrow night. So
perfect.
First round. So, it worked out.
Well, very nice. So we had a couple of weeks then to get in our viewing of Sleeping Dogs. So with that, I want to get you guys' opinions right off the bat. I personally didn't love this episode. I felt like it played it safe in a lot of ways. I felt it like it was kind of hokey at times, and it's definitely not one of my favorites. But I wanted to get your guys' opinions just overall. I'll start with Captain Vac.
I thought this was a middle of the road episode. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm like right in the middle. I was whelmed by this episode. I said, this is a perfectly cromulent episode. I think there's some Malcolm stuff. Like, I think we're trying to figure out, after we talked about his character not knowing anything about him except for he's allergic to pineapple, the grand revelation about
he wasn't
his
allergic.
Character.
Pineapple was his favorite.
Oh, wait, what was he allergic to?
Well, no, he technically is, but he's taking supplements.
That's right. Yes. So we were both right. Yes, it was, yeah.
The biggest revelation that he loves to throw snowballs on dying worlds, and he also loves to eat fake pineapple. So I want to know more about his character, and this
Very nice.
episode did not give me more about his character. So I still want to know more. Shoff, tell me more. Do we get to find out? This is not a spoiler, Shoff. Do we get to find out more about him later? Do you remember?
Sure, one day. One day.
You know, he has a podcast.
Yeah. Decon Chamber.
Trip. Yeah.
Yep.
I enjoy that podcast. So I'm trying to be like Linda and not get spoiled on things, but I'm enjoying some of the Enterprise stuff that comes up here and there and my peripheral. But this episode was okay.
Yeah. Okay. And Linda, what do you think?
I liked this episode. I think a lot of Enterprise, like the vast majority of Enterprise so far, has had this every episode has had this individual theme kind of humanity wants to get involved in everything and wants to fix everything. So I would like to see some other themes or other ideas explored, because I feel like most of what we've seen so far has been a variation on this theme. But that was my initial thought was watching it, since as the episode progressed, I was like, well, that's kind of what Enterprise is, though. Like, that's what it is. It's this like process of figuring out what we need to get involved in and what we don't. So I'm okay with it. Also, on the topic of Decon Chamber, Chris Garris from Transporter Room, so I'm also on. Go give that a watch and a listen. He's super involved in Decon Chamber. Also, on the topic of not wanting things to be spoiled, my physics professor gave me a major spoiler for Enterprise, knowing that I'm on this podcast, knowing that I'm watching it for the first time, that I have not seen it. He spoiled it. And then I said, why would you do that? In lab, I was like mid-experiment, and he was like, oh yeah. And I was like, why would you do that? And he said, how long has the show been out? And I was like, before I was born. So I actually couldn't watch it while it was on air. I was not a concept.
How dare you? Yeah.
How dare he?
I've said this before to Captain Vactor, and we talked about it a little bit off mic in our group chat here, but I firmly believe that in hell, in literal hell, there is a special corner devoted and dedicated to those who spoil. And unfortunately, your professor is headed there. So I'm just, I wanted to put that out there. I wanted to warn him. There's no good deed he can do to undo the damage he's done. You cannot take the spoiler and stick it back in your mouth. So enjoy the time you have left on Earth, because you're going to burn.
And it's going to change the way that I watch the rest of the series too. Like, it wasn't a thing of like,
oh dang,
like it's like
she told me what it was, and I will tell you, it is probably the biggest spoiler of the show.
I was gonna say, for this season or for the show?
No, the show. What he spoiled for me doesn't happen till the finale.
Whoa!
Yeah.
That is nuts.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Because it's almost like if it happened at any other point in the series, it would be like there would be this thing of like the aftermath of this event would have been really interesting to see, and like that would not have been spoiled, because like, okay, well, this happens, but I wouldn't know what happens after that, because there was a lot of ways that it could, like a lot of turns it could have taken. But I know this just happens at the end.
That's, now compare that to, have I been pregnant yet? When you got spoiled there, that was perfectly fine.
To be fair, also that was the next episode we were watching, and it was also like, I was meeting him, and it was like Chris knew him, so it was like introducing me, and it was just such, I don't think I've ever had a stranger. It wasn't awkward, it was just strange, like a weirder introduction to someone. Like, it was literally within the first 30. Yeah, I don't know. This was definitely, my professor was definitely worse. He definitely spoiled more. I'm very upset about it. I'm
sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I'm trying. I'm gonna go back on the Men in Black ride at Universal and let them flashy thing me at the end.
There you go.
I'll just forget.
Yes.
You said that before. I wish I could have selective amnesia. Like, if I could have selective amnesia, that would be amazing. Because then I could be like, oh, Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame. I get to watch those again and again and again. Just zap myself every time.
My POTS and EDS gives me like brain fog sometimes. So sometimes I do forget things, but it's never something like that where I can like go back and watch something. It's like, like, oh, I wonder if I, filled up my water bottle earlier, or like, I don't remember if I did this assignment, or I don't know where my car keys are. Like, it's inconvenient, you know? Like I would like to pick and choose and be like, forget this thing that I just heard. Now is the time for the brain fog to kick in, you know?
Right. Maybe we'll get there. I mean, we're
great.
already starting to get chips implanted in our heads, so it's probably only a matter of time where we can pick our memories and say.
Someone pointed out to me, we were talking about that
anymore.
when that became a thing last year. We were talking about that in one of my physics classes, and one of my peers made the point that this now means that you could have advertisements in your dreams.
That's true. True.
And then everyone was like, that's so dystopian. Like, what the hell? So.
Oh man. Yeah, I wonder what my advertisements would be. Probably nothing good. I don't know.
Star Trek. You could just watch the Starfleet Academy trailer over and over and over.
There we go. Yeah. If you can give me trailers, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Shoff, I forgot when I was telling you what I thought about this episode. I would give this episode a 3 out of 5, but then I thought about it. 4 out of 5, Shoff. I have to raise the bar.
That's so funny because that's exactly what's the frame that's pulled up on my TV.
What? What?
It's hilarious.
I forgot.
Oh,
Shoff,
the stupid. Oh my goodness. The stupid Decon Chamber. Oh my god. I can't.
What's crazy is this is actually only the second time we've seen it so far in the show.
Why are we in tank tops and underwear?
Well, here's the part. Let's just jump right to that scene. Talking about it now. Okay, the perverted boy in me. I don't have a boy in me. I should probably clarify that. But
whoa,
but the hetero, like, you know, attracted to women in skimpy clothes part of me, because that part of me does exist, looks at that scene and is like, oh, okay. All right. Thanks for giving us this great eye candy. But there's a very large majority of me that is like, if you're going to put two women in the scene together and you're going to show this Decon Chamber scene, like if you have to have it in the show, then they should be wearing the same clothes. Like T'Pol should not be in something extra skimpy compared to Hoshi, who looks like a nun by comparison in terms of like the amount of clothes she's wearing, and she's still wearing like her skimpy, you know, outfit that you would probably see like somebody wear to the gym or something, right? But for whatever reason, T'Pol, who is a Vulcan, mind you, who should ideally be pretty reserved, I would say probably not so showy in that way, and certainly not so like body positive where they're like, I'm going to show off my TNA as much as possible.
Just say TNA.
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah. It is so weird to me that they wouldn't just be wearing the same thing. And I don't mean that Hoshi should wear what T'Pol wears. I mean that T'Pol should wear what Hoshi wears. Like it definitely proves the point that Berman and Braga had a very specific vision for this, and also why they cast Jolene Blalock in this role initially. Granted,
I was literally just about to say there's someone I feel like I could blame for this, but I've already dug myself into a hole on a different podcast like about them, so I'm not gonna say anything now.
Yeah, I'll take the blame. It's nuts to me. Now, granted, thankfully T'Pol, as well as say like 7 of 9, Jerry Ryan, they both made their characters and made the best of them for what they were given, which is, you know, to be the sexy eye candy of the show, you know. So that scene, that Decon scene is like so telling when you've got two women next to each other and they are not dressed. Like one is dressed way more scantily clad than the other. I don't know. You guys' opinions on it.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I turned it off so you didn't hear me. Incessantly. What's interesting about Jerry Ryan's perspective on 7 of 9 is at Star Trek Orlando at her panel, she said, you know, I didn't mind being in this like skin tight catsuit because the character wasn't like that. So I didn't mind being like the visual eye candy sex appeal because that's just not all what 7 was like. Like it had nothing to do with her and her character and personality. So if that's what they needed to bring in viewers, I was fine with that because it was just not the character, you know, it wasn't the role. Like she was so complex and she was such a great character. And that perspective I'd never really thought about before. I do kind of wonder if maybe that's how Jolene felt. But it's also because Enterprise was made after TNG and Voyager and DS9. And not that this does not exist in Voyager, because it does, especially with, I mean, really primarily with Seven. I'm really trying to think. I don't remember them really doing this to any of the other characters. There was that one episode with Kess where she was like going through puberty. That was the little.
They did some with
was a little weird.
B'Elanna, like in the Sonic shower and stuff. Like, yeah, she definitely would show.
She had a couple, but
yeah,
but it wasn't like the same as this. So it's sad to me that it's like, and again, if you want to have sex in the show, just have sex in the show, you know, like just do that.
Maybe I will.
But this is like, I've said this before, it's insulting as a viewer, because it's like, this is not a sexy moment. Like, this is, oh, great. We were just on an alien planet or an alien environment, right? Like, we might have a disease, so we need to like make sure that we don't have a disease, and we have to do it in our underwear. Like, this is weird. It's a weird, like, this is just not the time to be sexy. Like, I think that's what gets me about this, and that's why I hate it so much. It's not even necessarily like the sex appeal part. It's just like you're just pushing it everywhere. Like, it just has to be in everything. Like, this just doesn't need, this is just not, it just doesn't need to be like this. Like, you know, just have like a, you know, I don't know. It just, I don't like it. Before I say anything else, it's gonna get me in trouble. I'm gonna stop talking.
Vactor, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I agree with both of your points, specifically, Shoff. Even the color, like Malcolm and Hoshi are wearing blue, and then T'Pol's in a completely different color, different size undergarments. It is kind of strange, like you said, when you have a male and a female. Okay, there's opposites there, but then when you have two females and then they're different, why are they different? That was kind of strange to me.
Like, I guess the way I try to rationalize it is she's not part of Starfleet. And if Starfleet is issuing their undies, you know, then she wouldn't have those undies to wear. So she would come with her own Vulcan, you know, whatever inspired outfit. But if this is really what Vulcans are wearing,
this is not what Vulcans are wearing. There's,
you know,
not
like,
a shot in hell.
Like, they don't dress like
they
this.
They have sex once every 7 years. This is not what Vulcans wear. Also, as a counterpoint to everything that I was saying, I am bi, and these are three very attractive people. So, you know, you can't be like too mad about it. But it's just like, you know, like I said, like I don't really even have an issue with it's just the way that it's done. I don't really have an issue with like sex appeal or like these kind of like sexy moments, but just do it in a way that makes sense. And I think that's why I don't like the Decon Chamber specifically, is just because it doesn't make sense. I don't know. That's my thing. And it just feels like such a huge, because again, even like, okay, there were a few moments in Voyager and whatever else, and like 709's costume, but like Jerry said, her character wasn't like that. This just feels like it either doesn't feel like progress from Voyager, and also maybe feels like a step back from Voyager, which is why I think it's like frustrating.
Well, and at the same time, because they exist in an earlier part of the timeline, that doesn't lend itself well to, you know, it came after Voyager. So, you know, you would think your brain sort of is under the like this like false sense of they're a technologically advanced society, you know, they shouldn't need this. And now we're also having to sort of think about, okay, wait a minute, these guys are actually in a time period before Kirk, before Spock. Like, how different is the technology there, and what are they doing to combat these contamination, you know, concerns and such like this? So I can see why they came up with it. I just think it was,
the idea is fine.
Every time it's been played for sex. Yeah. It's been played for the wrong reasons. I thought it was funny that Malcolm is like Malcolm and Hoshi both are like trying to get T'Pol to stay in there longer. It's like, all right, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
Too much.
Listen, they both have eyes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about Malcolm for a second. This episode really annoyed me for him, and I like him as a character, and I even like him as an actor, but I did not enjoy this episode for him. The fake sneezing was obnoxious.
It was not his best moment.
No. And you know what? And I don't even blame him for that, because I think as an actor, it's kind of hard to do a convincing fake sneeze.
Should we all try to do a fake sneeze?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Like, obviously angle it away from the microphone.
Okay. Pretty good.
Was it good? Okay. All right. Subtle, like it, discreet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Brilliant. And the Emmy goes too.
Yes. Honorable mention to Captain Vactor. So the sneezing was just too much for me. Plus, it felt like him getting sick was going to factor into the plot somehow, but it didn't. Like, usually when someone gets conveniently sick or something happens to them that is super convenient, like even they arrived on the Klingon ship and they open up their helmets because they were like, okay, it's a breathable atmosphere, we can whatever. And they're like, oh, you can't smell that? And he's like, no, I'm all stuffed up. It's like, whatever. It's like, is that it? That's the payoff? Like, and then I was like, I was really like searching online. I was trying to find some sort of an explanation about like why he was sneezing, like what the cold significance had to do with anything. And I found something, and it was actually pretty good. So I thought I would share it with y'all. So this is, ironically, this was in a forum from a website called jammersreviews.com. And they were talking about this episode specifically, and a blogger by the name Real Trent. Now, I don't know if it's our Captain Vactor, whose first name is Trent. He said, he was calling out other people who had posted things saying, why does Reed have a cold? I mean, why did the writers bother to write it into the script if it served absolutely no purpose in the story? And then another person said, it was pretty pointless. It was a small character bit, but it was added to pad out the episode. Here we go. His sickness echoes the plight of the Klingons, who are contaminated by outside cargo. And just like he was contaminated by something that someone brought on the ship. And then his sneezing is supposed to symbolize what they decide to do to get their ship from sinking further into the atmosphere, which is to obviously send off those photon torpedoes, which will then sneeze them further and higher in Vactor doesn't like it. He doesn't like it.
That is such a ridiculous reach. That's the kind of essay that you write when you didn't understand the book and you're like, there's nothing in it. I have to make something up. That's what that is. That's bullshit. I'm so sorry. That's
okay,
not
good.
the case.
I felt it was bullshit too. I was like, the photon torpedoes aren't sneezing the ship away from the planet's core. Okay.
His sneezing symbolizes a photon torpedo. Are we serious right now? Is that a real statement?
He was digging deep on that.
That's like he's searching for anything. I think honestly, like his cold, like if they just had it throughout the thing, and it, like if he'd stayed on the ship and it was like the B plot of like him having to deal with a cold in space, I think there was a lot of comedy to be found in that, because like he's on a starship and he has a common cold. Like that's funny. I think they could have done like that would have been interesting, but it just it was a little weird, So
it almost feels like they intended it to be more, and maybe they just dropped it from like a script revision, like where there was some reason for it or something that while they were on the Klingon ship, he was able to do because he couldn't smell. I don't know.
That's where I thought they were going. As soon as they took off the suits and he couldn't smell, I thought, oh, okay, now we're gonna see why he's got an advantage.
Exactly. Nope.
But that's the same thing with the cold open of Hoshi on the firing range. I don't like a lot of these cold opens. Like a lot of them, I'm like, let's just get to the point of the episode, and they're not fun. They're not funny. Like a lot of these cold opens have been leaving me cold, Shoff, and that is bad.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. It was kind of like there's a film term you may have heard called Chekhov's gun, and it's where you introduce. Usually, it's a weapon, but it's something. You introduce something, and usually it's a gun or whatever. Because if you bring it and show it earlier, it's going to factor in later and have to do with the plot. But it's gonna be something where it'll be just a hint or a breadcrumb initially, and then by the end, because you saw the gun and it was a loaded gun, that gun will be used. It will be fired, and that's just like a plot device in itself. They spend the cold open him teaching her this new phase pistol and how to fire it. By the way, I don't know if firing a phase pistol in the torpedo room next to loaded torpedoes is probably the best place on the ship to do this, but that her ability to shoot a target has nothing to do with the rest of the episode. Like you said, it's pointless. It's a completely pointless cold open. If anything, just introduces his cold, because he has a brief moment where he's like, my throat, a little bit congested, You know, like, come on. Also, there's a little bit of like a hollow emitter type thing. Star Wars called. They want their technology back. I don't understand that there even should be this technology in this time period. I felt like that was inappropriate for the show. And that's what a lot of people have a lot of issue with like Discovery for, is they felt like Discovery was way too advanced in its tech for the time period it's supposed to take place in, because it was pre-Kirk as well. And you know, I can't say I don't disagree, but also they were a prototype science vessel, so they can get away with stuff because their technology is in a sense a test. I mean, it was a new technology that they were just trying out, and clearly didn't use again because there were problems with it. But yeah, so like that cold open, and you're right, these cold opens don't serve a greater purpose. And part of me like wishes they either went the route of like The Office, where it's like it has nothing to do with the show, but it's just a really like fun, charming moment.
It's like just life on the ship,
or something,
you know?
but it's
like
not
just
even
like day to day.
development. Yeah,
They're just day to day stuff. I don't hate it, honestly. I kind of like seeing I wish that we had a Star Trek show that was more like a sitcom, that was just like day to day life on the ship. Like not every episode is like the end of the world, you know, just like the mundane stuff, like just a normal starship, you know, like not one of the ones that's like getting attacked every week, just like, you know, because like they'll talk about it in other episodes, you know, in all the Star Trek series, like the day-to-day things they do, or they'll walk into the mess hall and be like, oh, we just like did this cool thing on the holodeck, but we never get to see it. Like it would be cool to have to just see like a sitcom where all the plots are just like interpersonal stuff.
Yeah,
you know, maybe every once in a while something like really crazy happens, and we actually get to explore like the trauma everyone experiences from that, because they're normal people and not every other character who seems to just like move on from like, you know, getting attacked by the Borg every week. So I actually really like this, because it is closer to that kind of thing where it's just like, yeah, like this is what they were doing that morning, like before everything happened, you know?
Yeah.
Like this is what happened.
Like I like the one with like Archer, you know, he's just trying to shower and the ship is having its
that one had something to do with the plot too, which is nice.
Yeah,
but...
like that served a little bit more of a purpose, but that was good. I did find it interesting, you know, the idea of getting a cold. Like
I was like, and then Phlox is trying to explain it, and I'm like,
Well, I just thought it was interesting because I was like, I've never seen this in Star Trek. People just getting a cold.
Yeah, but like to be fair, we also like, that's because they just go to sickbay and they get a hypo spray.
Right.
And that doesn't really exist yet. Like, obviously they have sickbay, they have hypo sprays, but like there's a hypo spray for everything in the other Trek series. Like everything can be fixed by hypo spray unless it's inconvenient to the plot, and then it can't.
Yeah. Well, so, and they also describe it as the ship is hermetically sealed. Therefore, that in itself would also prevent like the possibility of bacteria and things like that. But I just thought it was like a unique dynamic, and that's why I thought it would have factored more into the plot. One thing I did like though was how Hoshi is demonstrating some more confidence.
She's putting herself out like there her character a lot.
Yeah,
like I'm really liking her character a lot. Yeah.
So that's cool. And you get to see, I like any episode where it shows off her abilities, because she is really like a superstar when it comes to what she adds to the crew in a big way. Because right now, like, having translation abilities in, say, TNG or Voyager or whatever, it helps, but you don't need it that much. I mean, most of the time that Universal Translator does everything for you, but they are so reliant on what Hoshi can bring. And Trip, when he was operating her station, he like didn't even know what he was doing. Like, you could just tell he was like, I'm uncomfortable with her station right now. What is the button I pressed for the Universal Translator? I don't know. Like,
I don't know how to do this.
Which is good. So like, it really shows like she is vital, and I like that she's vital. So
yes,
I agree.
I have to bring this up because it really bothers me. I really can't stand when they use the grappler on the ship.
Why?
I think it's so silly. It is so silly to shoot off a grappling hook in space. And also that it's a huge ship doing it. Like, I guess I'm just so used to tractor beams and knowing that the technology does exist in this time period. It's just not something that Starfleet has access to yet. Is just silly. And it's not that the technology is silly, because we've seen it on Star Wars, right? Like, snow speeders use it to take down the AT-ATs. By the way, they're AT-ATs, not AT-ATs.
I have at earrings that I wear to Disney, and they are at. It's so much cuter.
AT-ATs.
At. I will fight you, Shoff. I will die.
It's like,
use your lightsaber, Linda. Use it.
Emma does not want to be
I
my
have a
friend
lightsaber.
today.
It's just not nearby.
It's
Hold on, let me
get her. Get him. Get him.
She can't stop breaking my door. Yeah,
she
it's
knocks her entire laptop right off the table.
It's at.
Dark Ray.
This would be such a sick album cover, though, too.
That would be cool.
It's pink.
By
It
the
looks
way,
red, but it is pink.
The official, for anybody who's wondering, the official Star Wars stance is that both pronunciations are correct. Either one, whichever your flavor you enjoy.
It's at.
Now, I did grow up saying at.
Here's why. Let me just say this. So when you see the chicken walkers, right? All right, the ones that go on two legs, do you call those atst, or do you call them ATSTs? Because they're ATSTs. So if you're going to say ATST,
then I'll say wait, what is it?
Yes.
Right, like when people see those on screen, they call them ATSTs. But when they see ATATs, they call them ATATs. And I'm like, no, you can't just like change up your approach to like acronyms and phonetics. Like, it either is the same, got to keep it consistent. So either it's ATST or it's ATST. And if it's
some people do say chicken
or it's
walkers.
ATAT.
I don't hear most people that I come across say chicken walkers. I don't hear a lot of
because that's the jargon, or that's not the jargon. That's like the slang for it. But like, I love that tech when it's snow speeders, tow cables, and they take them down. Like, that's awesome and that's fun. And but when for some reason when the Enterprise does it, it is so freaking silly. And I just hate it. And so any scene where they're like, I mean, that shuttle was going at a breakneck pace off planet, and they sent off a grappling hook at it and somehow caught it. I don't know. It didn't work for me. I'm not a fan.
It still makes sense. It makes sense for me just because
I don't know why I hate it.
They're not using transporters. Like, there's so much tech on this show that, and we talked about it in a previous episode, that's what sets it apart from a lot of the other shows. Is this feels like they're doing it for the first time. They're becoming explorers and setting out to be what they would be. And so they don't have a lot of the advantages that the later shows have. And same thing with the cold thing that we talked about earlier, not having the medicine readily available and having it, okay, we can just solve anything right away. It gives these guys more of a challenge. And so I think that's interesting, but I do prefer, TNG tech myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of tech, this is the first mention of photon torpedoes in Enterprise, and Malcolm his interest is piqued when he hears that. He's like, "What? I forgot I had a cold. You mentioned torpedoes. That sounds awesome." The ethical dilemma presented in this episode is it comes down to what Captain Lindo was saying, which is get involved or don't get involved. Which is the correct way to go? Do we let sleeping dogs lie, which is the name of the episode, and let these, and which is kind of you're basically calling Klingons dogs in this, but which is not too far from the truth. But do we let them? Essentially, they're passed out on the ship. Do we leave them there because that's how they're going to die an honorable death, or do we interfere to help out and potentially save them while putting our own crew
Humans cannot help ourselves.
at risk?
We must try. Yeah.
And I think Archer plays things a little fast and loose and kind of reckless initially in the episode by sending his crew down there to an area which is, incredible pressure. The ships are buckling. They can't even really get Enterprise down there all the way. Like it's, I don't know if I would have risked the crew for something like that, but I mean, that just shows Archer he's out to help. He really does want to make a difference. He does have a stronger showing towards the end of the episode because he starts to understand Klingons. He reads all 90 some odd pages in the Vulcan database and is now an expert on all things honorable with Klingons and has a different approach with the captain. I think she's the captain. I can't remember her name. But
do they name her?
I think the episode would have been stronger if there were no Klingons that could speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Because then you would only have T'Pol acting as the voice of, this is what the Klingons want.
And they're such different species, like such different.
Yeah. And I think that might have made the ethical dilemma stronger than having one Klingon, be around and be able to speak for them and such. It kind of takes the ethics part out of it because she's going to speak for her people. Like it, I don't know. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Interesting.
As far as any other notes I have, I said the sounds of the gas giant, the electromagnetic, whatever you want to call them, frequencies were very disturbing. But I found out that they were the same sounds that they used in Star Trek 4 for the humpback whales. So,
interesting.
or I should say rather the aliens that were trying to contact the humpback whales. So, which was really cool.
That is actually interesting.
As far as anything else to speak of in the episode, Vaughn Armstrong, who is Admiral Forrest, we've seen him many times on Enterprise. He's also done a lot of Star Trek cameos as various alien species and such. But he's been in like 27 Star Trek episodes in different roles, 12 different roles, mind you. But he played the Klingon captain in this episode, which was, and he was not originally supposed to play the captain, but he had to quickly learn the part, step in because the original guy, Stephen Lee, was unable to play it. The episode was inspired by the Kursk submarine disaster. And so there's supposed to be this submarine vibe of, the ship buckling under pressure and being isolated. Sort of claustrophobia, politics, things like that. So the Orions were supposed to be the ones who were the target of the Klingons. Ended up being, they changed that out to call them the Zarantine. That's the species that they raided and took their wine and got sick from it. So a lot of websites were mentioning that if you want a better version of this episode, you would go to Deep Space Nine, Starship Down. That's apparently a much better executed submarine episode. It's in season 4, episode 7. So if you're looking for something in the same vein, but that somehow did it better, that's what you'll want.
All right.
Interesting.
Shoff, I did find it, speaking of that Klingon captain, I thought his last moment was hilarious when he got so frustrated when Archer basically called him. He's like, "You ain't got no moves, playboy." And then the captain was like, hanging up on you. I laughed out loud when I saw that.
That was good. Yeah, you don't even have any photon torpedoes. My guys
Like,
sneezed
what you
the
gonna
ship
do?
with them.
Sneezed the ship. Well, that was such a bad analogy. I'm still upset about it.
Yeah.
What the hell? What are we doing?
By the way,
Sneezed
I
the
wore
ship.
this shirt. I wore the shirt in honor of the Klingons today.
I'm very
Says,
proud.
Nice.
Spring break. I love Gowron saying spring break.
We're
That's my
a
favorite.
while off from spring break, but you know what's really close? Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Fall break.
Ooh, yes.
Excited.
The food.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Let's see if there was anything else
Good
that
food.
was really notable about this episode. Oh, although the common cold had not been cured by the time of this episode, I can tell you for certain that 212 years after this episode, Dr. Crusher suggests that colds are by then a thing of the past. So
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
the cure for the common cold does happen. It just happens sometime between now and
That's
TNG.
interesting because in Voyager, when the Doctor doesn't have empathy and they want him to, they program him with a common cold.
That's true.
So
I
that's
remember that
interesting. It's
episode.
been, and they all
Yeah.
act like they've all been there. So that's interesting.
Yeah. We do get to see some Klingon targs. Linda, you got some thoughts on that?
I have thoughts on the Targs. First of all, I want to preface this by saying I'm never one to either notice or care. Like sometimes I'll notice if CGI is like not executed well, but it just never bothers me. It's not something I'm looking for. Like obviously I grew up watching, the original series, so I kind of desensitized to it. But I did notice that the Targs were not. It was like it's like scrolling on TikTok and seeing those AI ads. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like really
Yes.
like I was like, oh,
And
it's
that's
a
the
targ.
feeling I get from every episode when I see this.
but it doesn't
that's
bother
what
me
it
with
looks
like the
to me.
ships and stuff, but like they're interacting with the Targ, and it was just not like the holograms and the holodeck look better. And I also I was bothered by the Targs because I thought that Targs were like dogs, like Klingon dogs, like they were like pets, and they were like they like their food fresh, and I was like, what do you mean their food fresh? And because I was thinking about like, doesn't B'Elanna have like a pet Targ when growing up, like that she talks about on Voyager?
Yeah, that's true.
So what?
I guess they
Did
eat
she
their
eat
pets.
the Targ? Like, is that
Ooh.
how is that what happened? Like once like baby Targs are pets, but adult Targs, that's
There
lunch.
you go. Yeah,
like,
they nurture them.
What?
Yeah.
What's happening? Although I guess it's like it could be like a cow. I really thought about it and I was like, we kind of do that too. Like some
true,
people
yeah.
like some people have pet cows, but like we eat steak. We
Yeah.
eat steak. So
They also showed Gah in this episode, which Klingon
Gesundheit.
delicacy.
I thought that was
Gah.
funny. Too.
yeah.
Kapla.
Success. I actually knew that because I'm learning Klingon on Duolingo.
Nice.
I knew
Sweet.
Kopla was success. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Thank you. I'll be fluent in 14
Do you know any
years.
other Klingon sayings?
I know words, but I couldn't tell you what they mean. Tej, I think is Tej. Well, yeah, Puta is like coward or traitor or something. Or like it's an insult. Tej, I think is scientist. Tej is a word I see a lot on my Duolingo. I will let you know next week. I'll do some more.
Perhaps today is a good day to die.
Hi, do you
Yeah.
guys know the meme that's like today is a good day for pie? I see that a lot.
You see that?
I see it a lot. Today is a good
Okay.
day for pie, especially around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like a pumpkin
like
pie
that.
or like an apple pie.
Yes.
That's good. Perhaps today is a good day for pie.
A peanut butter pie.
Yeah, chocolate peanut butter pie.
Yeah.
My mommy is making that for Thanksgiving. I'm very excited.
Okay. Yes.
Yay.
Excellent. I can't wait.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Hey, if you want to book a ticket to Florida, you are more than welcome. We are the host family for Thanksgiving, so
I love that.
yes. Yeah.
Well, let's see. To wrap things up, let's take a look at what's coming up next on Enterprise. So the 15th episode of the first season is called Shadows of P'Jem, which we've seen P'Jem before in the Andorian Incident, which was the first appearance of Commander Shran played by Jeffrey Combs. So he may or may not, wink, 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 be in this episode that we'll be talking about next week. So, as I said, Shran comes back, and it's always fun when Shran shows up. So,
snap.
But yeah, so this is going to be a follow-up episode to the events of the Andorian incident, which was a really great episode.
It was.
Yeah.
Their little antennas, though, was the only thing.
Yes.
I couldn't focus on it, so I'm gonna need them to stay still, because I was like had to rewind because all I was watching was like the wiggly antennas and not like paying attention to the plot. It's mesmerizing. It really is. It's like my lava lamp. Like it's just you just like sit there and watch it. Like
Dang.
you know, it's like the way they move. You know, like
with this episode, we've crossed over the halfway mark for this season. We now are in the back half of season 1.
Crazy.
It only gets better from here, folks. I mean, it really does. Seasons 3 and 4 are really a stark difference from the first 2 seasons. I can't say more without spoiling, and I'm not about to do that because I don't.
Wait, you said seasons 3 and 4 or 2 and 4?
3 and 4.
3 and 4.
Yeah,
okay.
The final 2 seasons, the show really dramatically shifts and changes, and I think they did that probably just in an effort to try to keep viewers, because the show was not super well received. It wasn't I don't know. It didn't grab people the way that other shows did. And that's why it only went 4 seasons, but I think it really had a strong showing. And so I'm looking forward to us getting to that point. Obviously we got to get through this stuff too, but there's a lot of good episodes in these first 2 seasons too. And the next week's episode, I think if I recall correctly what happens, it's a good episode, a really good one.
And
so
Linda, forget the spoiler that you heard.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't, Vactor.
No,
if you can get one of those things from Men in Black and
neuralizer.
With that, anything
or you could transporter copy me, wipe it from transporter copy Linda's brain, and then just get rid of me, and then you got.
But then I'd be murdering you.
No, I'm still there. Just
we just won't tell the Admiral. So yeah, we kind of cloned
She's
your daughter.
Exactly the same though, so it's fine.
Yeah, she's better actually because she doesn't have that spoiler in her head anymore. So
she's better. Hey, if you are gonna copy me, do me a favor. Take out the gene that gave me EDS for the other one.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely,
I'd like for her joints to not hurt as much as mine do. let her be free.
Good stuff. We'll make sure to arrange that for you. No problem.
Yes, and then you can tell the difference between the two of us, because one is Gumby and one is not.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
Anything y'all want to plug that you got going on this week or next week? Start with Captain Vactor.
Well, I've fallen down the rabbit hole of doing biographies on every Green Lantern that exists. And there's a lot of Green Lanterns. This is not just a few. There are a ton of Green Lanterns. So I'm now researching and putting out biographies, mini 30-second biographies on every Green Lantern. So if you're into that, if you're interested, check out This Comic Cooks on TikTok and YouTube.
Who's your favorite Green Lantern now that you've been researching?
Well, my favorite growing up was always Hal Jordan, but now that I've been researching, there's some very interesting things that I'm finding out about Simon Baz, who is a Muslim Green Lantern who witnessed 9/11 and got inspired by it. He was carrying a gun. He got accused of being a terrorist. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
Wow.
That is very
I didn't realize
interesting.
the superhero storylines got so deep.
Yeah. And
I got bit by this radioactive spider. Hey. That's my knowledge of superheroes. So obviously I need to do a deeper dive.
There's some great stuff going on in the pages of Green Lantern right now. And actually, if you're a Green Lantern fan, I mean, if you love Star Trek, if you love space and exploration, you probably would like a lot of Green Lantern stuff that's going on right now. And I am appearing on Lanterns Live, which is my buddy Ralph's Green Lantern-centric YouTube channel. He does live reviews of comics. We're talking about Green Lantern Corps every month over on his channel, and I share it to my channel as well. So either Lanterns Live or, which they have this new collaboration thing on YouTube where you can share 2 different channels. So if you're subscribed to This Comic Cooks or Lanterns Live, you'll see my face talking about Green Lantern Corps. So check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Captain Linda, how about you?
Well, I just hit 10,000 followers on my 21st birthday on TikTok. Yay! Thank you. I am, so if you like Voyager, you should definitely follow me on TikTok. You should also follow me on Instagram. I'm also on the Transporter Room. I'm a co-host there as well, so that's exciting. And crazy project came out of nowhere this past weekend that I don't think I can talk about, but it's really exciting. And it may or may not involve a somewhat familiar face if you are a Trekkie.
Dr. Phlox.
No, but he's also pretty cool. Yes, I'm very, very excited about this project, and it's going to be a while before it's out there, but it's going to be really exciting. So I'm very excited.
You mentioned weeks back about, because you have a music career and you've got an album in the works, but I don't know if you said that it was like if you had a specific release date that the EP was.
We've had a couple, and then we missed them.
Okay.
So we've like had some ideas. We do have a potential now that will be like really soon. So, truthfully, my real goal is just to have it out, just to have my lead single released out by the end of 2025.
Okay, cool.
So
right, well, we will keep
that will be able to happen. I am recording a new song over Thanksgiving break.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll tell you the title when we're done recording.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm very excited.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, yeah, so there's a lot of places you can find Captain Linda. And then for myself, I was actually recently on another podcast called Trekmendations.
Yes, I
love
Trekmendations, and your episode
that was a lot
great.
of fun. It's a great format. The show is really cool. Each week, he brings on a different guest, and they get a chance to recommend something to him and to the listeners and followers, something that related to Star Trek, whether it's books or cosplay or collectibles. And for my entry, you'll have to tune into Trekmendations. But a little hint is, as you know, I'm a Lego maniac, and so when you mix Star Trek and Lego, nothing but fun ensues on that. So,
well, yeah. Speaking of, we have our first official Star Trek Lego. How are we feeling?
Feeling amazing.
Yeah,
amazing. I just have to decide
right,
which
Voyager.
bank I'm going to rob so I can purchase said set. There's actually a lot of rebrickable content creators on for Lego custom builds, and they're making smaller versions of the Enterprise D. And they're starting to put out instructions as sort of like a more cost-effective option for those that can't afford the $400.
I just want an official Voyager Lego set, because I want little Lego people of all of the Voyager crew. I think
it's
that's
gonna
really
happen,
cute.
because
I want a Lego Tuvix that you can separate.
I hope when they do this that you're right. They do come with alternative heads, and there's a Tuvix head, and maybe it's got a different torso because he had that different style. But
that would be absolutely
that would be
phenomenal. They should do that. I really want that. I don't know if it's a thing yet. I don't think it is. I feel like I would have it if it was, but I keep hearing an idea for a Tuvix action figure, and if you pull it apart, Tuvok and Neelix are inside. Tuvok and Neelix.
Well, there is a Tuvix action figure coming out from the Nacelle company or whatever they.
I want the Janeway one.
Yeah,
but
the Year of Hell one.
I don't particularly care about.
Yeah, it looks great.
I'm in the process of my expanding my Janeway collection. I've got this hologram Janeway ornament from Hallmark this year. I don't know why it's not focusing. There is coffee in.
Look at that.
Yeah, there's. So
there's coffee in this ornament.
And the hair and everything is very detailed. So yeah, they did a very good job. But I'm in the process of expanding my specifically Janeway collection. So
cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Janeway.
Janeway down.
My bad. Yeah, so the action figure, but yeah, the Tuvix one I have no particular interest in, honestly.
Perfect. Yeah.
Does anyone want a Tuvix like as display though? You know, like let's be real. Like that let's be honest with ourselves. It's okay. Like I don't think anyone is like my favorite
Jonesing for
Voyager
that figure?
character is Tuvix. Like
Yeah.
is it the only episode that you watched? And also like
you know
what?
what's so funny? So I can say this now because obviously the cat's out of the bag and you already got your cameo from Robert Billingsley. But I looked for the actor who played Tuvix first.
No.
Because I was gonna be like, that would be the perfect birthday surprise.
That would be funny.
But I couldn't find him on Cameo, so I was like, okay, well,
no, you know, I've gotten enough death threats. I'm too mixed out for the
also, I
moment.
thought like he probably wouldn't like that too much because you know he's probably gets
Has
it
he
enough.
ever talked about it? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I wonder what he thinks about it. Because is it like a shut up Wesley kind of thing where it's like I just can't, like it's just been too much,
Yeah,
or is
I
it
feel like that's probably what it's got to be at this point because
maybe I should chill.
You know, he's just an honest actor, just trying to do his best work.
But he did great though. Like that's the thing. Like, people think that I'm hating on him, and I'm not. Like I'm not. Like
character.
He did a phenomenal job. We're still talking about 30 years later. That wouldn't have happened if he didn't do a great job. It's just a running joke.
So funny. But yeah, so we got lots of stuff going on. But sure, please continue to follow us on our YouTube channel, Treknopod, or also on our TikTok, Treknopod. We're trying to get to 10K followers. We're approaching 3,000, looking to really, boost that. So whatever you guys can do to help us out, we would appreciate that so much. Yes. And thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next week for our continuation of our rewatch of Enterprise with Shadows of Pajem, with the amazing Shran returning. Cannot wait.
Whoa, I'm so excited. Yay.
Everybody, I hope you live long and